Today you look at how to convert numbers from base 10 to any other base. Now, before we look at that, let us look briefly to conversion of number bases. Now, conversion of number bases is a process of changing one number base to another. It can be from base 10, because normally the general is always base 10. That's the general way of counting is in base 10, as we discussed in our previous video. Now, at this point, you're talking about how to convert number from base 10 to any other base. That means it might be from base 10 to base 2. Base 10, that's the binary. Base 2 to from base 10 to the octal number, that's base 8, and so on. Now, it involves converting from base 10 to any other base, and from any other base to base 10. Are you getting me? So, I'll give you some tips on how to get that. So, let's look at the tips. Now, the tips there is number 1 is this involves successive division of the base as base 10 by the required base. That means you continue dividing that particular base. As we are going from base 10 to base 2, and you continue dividing base 10 by 2 to a point that is that is indivisible, that is to 0.0 to 0.0. Now, point 2, at each step of the division, the remainder are recorded including 0 until the division is completed. Now, that is the last question being 0. As I was saying before, you need to continue dividing base 10 by 2 to a point that is indivisible, that is 0.0. And this is how you get your solution. And the solution is upward collection of all the remainders from the last to the first. The solution is the upward collection of all the remainders from the last to the first. Are you getting it now? So don't worry, we'll solve some problems so you understand what we mean. So you can get what we are saying here. So let's look at our first example 1. Let's look at example 1. Convert 124 base 10 to a number in base 8. Convert 124 base 10 to a number in base 8. So let's see what we can do here. Said earlier, you have to divide it. That means you have to divide 124 base 10 by 8 here. You divide this by 8. Are you getting me? Since you are asked to convert 124 base 10 to base 8, then you have to divide 124 by 8. Are you getting me? So listen. Now 124 divided by 8, we have 15. Remainder 4. Now 15 divided by 8. So bring down your 8 again. 15 divided by 8, we have 1. Remainder 7. Now 1 divided by 8, now your 8 here, 1 divided by 8, we have 0, remainder 1. Are you getting me? So to get your answer, take your arrow, that is from down to up here, down to up here. So you now have to now be, therefore, 1, 2, 4 base 10 equals to 1, 7, 4 base 8. Are you getting me now? So you take from your solution from down here to up. So that is it. So let's look at our second example. For example 2. For example 2. Now express 437 base 10 to base 5. Express 437 base 10 in base 5. In base 5. Okay. So let's see what we can do. So 437 now base 5. So that is, you have to divide it by 5. So 437 divided by 5, we will have 87 remainder 2. So 87 divided by 5, bring down your 5 here, we have 17 remainder 2. Bring down your 5. 17 divided by 5, we have 3 remainder 2. Then bring down your 5 again. 3 divided by 5, we have 0 remainder 3. 0 remainder 3. So from here, according to the last part, cost must be, the last point is always 0. So you take your answer from up, then here. So that means, therefore, 437 base 10 will be equals to 3, 2, 2, 2 base 5. Base 5. So let's look at our next example. Let us look at our next example. Example 3. Example 3. Change 721 base 10 to a number in base 8. Change 721 base 10 to a number in base 8. To a number in base 8. So let's see what we can do over here. So 721 of 8. So 721 divided by 8, we have 90 remainder 1. Bring down your 8. 90 divided by 8, we have 11 remainder 2. Bring down your 8. 11 divided by 8, we have 1 remainder 3. Bring down your 8. 1 divided by 8, we have 0 remainder 1. 0 remainder 1. 0 remainder 1. Let's take your answer from here to the top. So therefore 721 base 10 will be equals to 1321 base 8. Base 8. So in the next class, we're looking at conversion from basis to base 10, from other basis to base 10. So in our next class, we're looking at conversion from other basis to base 10. Please do well to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you later.